Hey guys, it's Mr. Jack and 000 here, back with Automation, the car company Tycoon game, and what you're seeing right now is one of my latest builds called the Cadillac Fleetwood Stretch Donk. This car is a limousine variant of the 1970s Fleetwood 75 series made by Cadillac. But some dude from the streets of Houston, Texas thought he could dazzle the hood with his 30-inch chrome rims, flashy two-tone paint job, and ridiculous ride height. If you don't know what a donk car is, it's a car with massive rims designed to be a showstopper in your local car meet or in a rap music video. The body that I've used to create the Donk Cadillac is made by a modder named Aruna in his Style Cruiser Stretch 70s mod file. The link is at the bottom of the description if you want to download it. It has a lap time of 1 minute, 54 seconds, 35 milliseconds at the quote-unquote Top Gear test track, and 3 minutes, 7 seconds, 43 milliseconds at the automation track, a top speed of 139 miles per hour, and a 0 to 60 in 15.2 seconds. This vehicle uses a custom 5.8 liter pushrod V8 engine called the VP58C4 that produces 220.2 horsepower and 310.9 foot-pounds of torque. It has a fuel efficiency rating of 7.7 miles per gallon and weighs 5,897.1 pounds or 2,674.9 kilograms. And for the market, it poorly competes in the luxury car and grand tourer car markets, and even the muscle car markets, even though this isn't a muscle car whatsoever. In terms of how I created the Fleetwood Donk, the panel material will be made out of regular steel with a ladder chassis made out of corrosion-resistant steel. The engine placement is a front longitudinal with the front suspension of a solid axle leaf and the rear suspension of a solid axle coil. For the engine, it is a V8 engine made out of cast iron with the bore set to 99.5 millimeters and a stroke at 93 millimeters to make it a 5,785 cubic centimeter engine with pushrod headers made out of cast iron. The crankshaft is made out of forged steel with the con rods and pistons made out of cast, which I believe it's cast iron, I think. The compression is set at a pretty normal 8.2 to 1 ratio with the cam profile set to 43. For the fuel system, we're using a 4-barrel twin carburetor configuration with a standard intake running on regular leaded fuel. The fuel mixture is set to 13.6 in the ignition timing and lowered it to a 30, and the RPM limit is set to 4,400 RPM. For the headers, we're using short cast headers with a dual exhaust with the exhaust diameter set to 50.8 millimeters or 2 inches. And since it's running on leaded fuel, we got no catalytic converters, and the first buffer is a reverse flow and the second one is a baffled. For the drive type, it is a rear-wheel drive automatic 3-speed transmission with the top speed set to 139.3 miles per hour, even though the estimated top speed can go up to 152.86 miles per hour, but I want to be a little bit realistic on this one. I don't want it to be stupid fast for this type of vehicle. For the tires, they are hard long life tires with an even 185 millimeters for the front and back, running on 30-inch steel rims. As you can see right here, you got some 80-90 spoke wire rims. These are not like your pure wire rims like you see like on low riders down in South Central LA. We're talking about a guy from Houston, Texas. He likes big rims. That sounds kind of wrong. For the brakes, they're both solid discs with 420mm brakes. The front brakes are a 2-piston and the rear is a 1-piston. For the aerodynamics, it's a semi-clad undercarriage with the brake airflow set to 40. For the interior, we are rolling with a luxury interior and a phonograph made by Dub and everybody who was on the Pimp My Ride show by Exhibit when MTV was kind of awkward, unlike today's MTV, with hydraulic power steering and standard safety standards. And the suspension is pretty much basic. You got your standard springs, twin tube dampers, and only option is a passive sway bar with a normal preset with the ride height jacked all the way up to a whopping 610.2 millimeters. That's just ridiculous. Despite a few problems that we got the vehicle, such as the brake force in the front and back and the rear tires being narrow, we're going to export this to BeamNG.drive and test it out. So here we are at the modded map of Isle of Longford, and looking at this thing, just by the design in general, not by the jacked ride height and rims, I pretty much did a well of a job just trying to replicate the design of the Fleetwood based in the 70s, like your taillights here, and I'll show you 2 reverse lights here with the word Fleetwood on the bottom right portion of the vehicle, the chrome striping here, and minus the fake Dub 30-inch rim badge. your Fleetwood here, and pretty much an attempt with the front of the vehicle, including the 2 indicators right here on the almost front portion of the vehicle and the side of the vehicle, and this little light here, which I don't know what it is in the real life Fleetwoods. So here we are at the airport portion of this map here. We're going to be doing some basic performance tests with this vehicle. First, what I'm going to be doing is a 0 to 62 acceleration test. Second, a 62 to 0 brake test. And lastly, a top speed run if possible on this map. So first things first, we're going to be doing the acceleration test right now. We're going to be doing one without the launch like I'm doing right now, and the second one with the launch if it's possible with this transmission. So acceleration, we're up to 50 and counting, 10-second mark, and 0 to 62 in 13.4 seconds, flat. Nice. And one with the launch, so realistic box, rev it, go. Nice, pretty much got to its RPM point where it builds up its power. So 50, we improved quite a bit it seems like, right? No, worse, 1/10 of a second worse than before. So getting ready for the brake test right now. That thing really lost quite a bit of speed right there that I thought it would. So brake test, pretty bad. 62 to 0 in 6.09 seconds of 267.68 feet. Oh my god, for this type of vehicle, that's pretty bad. I mean, real bad. If you're on a highway and traffic comes to like a dead stop or something, you're gonna be the one at fault causing like a 6-car pileup because your brakes suck. You have to pay all your insurance claims and your deductible goes straight to the roof. Just because the brakes suck. So a top speed run is in effect here with this little highway portion of the map here. Going above 60 miles an hour. And I think we're on our second gear. Third gear is coming up shortly. And hopefully we got enough room to go above 100 miles per hour. And did the suspension like somewhat bottomed out hitting that bump there or what? Because that car just jolted, including the camera too. So 80 something miles an hour. I thought we reduced speed or something when we went uphill. If it reduced speed, then this car sucks big time. Major understeer. Wow, we lost a hell of a lot of speed with this vehicle. I think top speed run is pretty much impossible unless we're on a frickin' like a big boy airport runway. Not the runway that we were at earlier, but like something that you could like 777s take off and stuff like that. So top speed run, total fail. Let's crash this to a tree right here. This tree right here. Get a camera going right now. Alright, hide the UI. 16 to 100 times slow-mo. And hit. Hopefully this thing doesn't sit sideways. And pretty much it doesn't sit sideways. It sits upwards as it crinkles up. 4 times. There goes one of the rims. A wheel on the rim. And full time. Pretty much stuck headfirst to a tree. And this thing is still running. This is pretty much a standard issue of automation vehicles. And the tire just struck back at the vehicle. I think it was pissed off after getting hit by the tree. So this thing still runs. You know, this is rear-wheel drive. Let's see if we can free this. Well, we freed it. The left tire. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. This thing is steering on its own. It's not even connected by an axle. It's just the brake, the tire, and the rim. Just this. Like, what is this? Well, we kind of broke the axle just by steering because... yeah. And... no way, Scott. This thing still runs. 30 miles an hour. Well, just pretend it's misery. It is misery, these palm trees right here. If not, we'll dump this in the ocean. There we go. Lost the other wheel, and... what the hell? Dude, the tree is pretty much where the engine is at. Like, what's the engine like? The engine's pretty much still in one piece, if I can get a camera. Well, pretty much. It's... unscathed. That's just stupid. So let's change out the maps here by doing a time trial at the East Coast USA with the high-speed highway track with the Fleetwood. And apparently I raced here before. What car was it? The San Francisco on steroids. If you don't know what this vehicle is, the vehicle is a 1960s trolley, basically called a land trolley because it's got 4 wheels, but it doesn't ride on rails. This vehicle was mostly based off the 20th century trolleys like you usually see in San Francisco and some European countries or Australia. And this vehicle had I think an 8.2 liter V10 engine that produced like whatever 2200 horsepower and had top speeds of over 200 miles per hour. This was like the fastest trolley that was ever built. pretty much blows all like the modern day high speed railways, like blow them away, especially for those like in Japan or in South Korea. So I'm gonna be taking you to the starting line of the highway right now. So here we are at the starting line of this racetrack, and we are behind the line, fortunately, especially how this long of a vehicle it is. So let's get things started here in 3, 2, 1, start. So I'm going to be sticking to vanilla racetracks for now, because like on my recent videos with the modded tracks like the Lakeside Raceway, Automation Test Track, Mortofino, Grand Valley Speedway, like those tracks where you don't even see the timer at the top right of your screen. Like you do see it now with this track, but not on those modded racetracks. Like if I cross this checkpoint, for example, like the camera goes in and out real quick. Unlike we did there where it played the checkpoint marker and it actually counted that checkpoint. Like the last video, for example, my recent one, which was the Super Truck, which hardcore lag, was an FIA, a 2001 FIA ETRC truck, which had the official weight, brakes, and lack of driving aids that was required to compete in the ETRC series, but it didn't have the engine displacement nor power due to the limitations of the game. Like I raced at the Lakeside Raceway, did 4 laps with a rolling star, and like every lap didn't count somehow. But if you cross the start and finish line, the camera, goddamn, goes in and out every time you cross like the first checkpoint and the start and finish line. Like I raced like 4 laps and didn't even count any other laps in the racetrack for some odd reason. I'm gonna be sticking to these vanilla tracks for now, and I don't even know the reason why the modded racetracks just don't count the laps for some reason. Like it doesn't count it on the top right of the screen, like it shows the live lap time counter, or like in the last video where the laps just didn't count for some odd reason. Like I don't know if it's a mod conflict I'm having, a bug issue, or it's somehow another cache issue. Like I deleted my cache before and I think it wasn't the issue. Like I'm still having those problems pretty much right now, and since I've been having it for like the past month or so. And with this tire that is just missing, grinding on the brake, we're still doing okay, going 60 plus miles per hour. I wish I could do a clean run, like just not crash once and probably beat the trolley, which we're definitely not going to beat the trolley. We're probably going to get like a 4 or 5 minute lap time in this condition. And not only that, my throttle is maxed out and the clutch is maxed out. Like, why is the clutch maxed out? Is this because it's an automatic transmission, the clutch is maxed out by default, or what? Like, if your clutch is maxed out, especially for a manual transmission vehicle, you're gonna burn the clutch. I guarantee it. Oh crap, we're going hot. Hopefully we can still drive under this condition. And we killed the vehicle. And the right rear tire is not touching the ground. That's really nice. So restart. Hopefully we can get this in one piece. If not, then I don't know. Probably invest in a lowrider, not a big ballin' donk car like this. And hopefully we don't crash out at this bridge coming up, which I think this is the bridge part coming up, right? Probably further down the road. I think right here. Yep. Right turn. Perfect. We didn't hit the wall that is right by the bridge. Oh, shiced us. There goes 2 of the wheels. And just like that, it hopped over the car. Where that rim at? Well, both of them. Can I free cam? Yes, I can. Are those tires gonna battle out? Okay, that tire has retired. This tire will now officially not retire. I'm surprised it pulled that type of maneuver, so it'll retire at this tree. I guarantee I bet money on it. Okay, that's sound though, so that tire has officially retired, so take 3. And I'm gonna do it like last time. Crash to the bridge, and pretty much give up right there because there's no use to completing in this condition. I was kind of messed up with the steering with this vehicle. Automation has calculated, like, I think the sportiness value was like at 98%, 99%. Like, you can, like, handle corners, like, really easily with this vehicle, but it's not even handling a corner one bit. It's just understeering. Look at this. 60, 50, 40... 40-something miles an hour. Extreme, I don't want to say extreme, but pretty much borderline extreme understeer. While automation calculated like if we were getting close to oversteer. Kind of like with real life sports car vehicles where it's got good enough handling, but not to the point where it's becoming either understeer or oversteer. So hopefully we don't screw up again. And I think we are. God damn it. I think putting 30-inch rims in this car was a bad idea. So pretty much where we were at when we crashed out the first time. And we're approaching the 3-minute marker right now of the lap time. We're still doing alright. I haven't crashed just yet. Hope I'm not jinxing myself for the next like 10-30 seconds into this course here. And oh, we're done. So lap time 3 minutes, 16 seconds, 743 milliseconds. Which we were roughly 14 seconds short of beating the San Francisco trolley on steroids. That was completed on April Fool's Day, and controllers stopped being retarded for once. Thank you. I don't think we have reached like 100 miles an hour. I think that was pretty much the top speed. It was around 100. I should probably go to Endless Highway and see if this could go 140 miles an hour. If not, then this car is a total lie. I never did, by the way. So let's just throw this off to a cliff 2 times and into a tree. A bunch of trees. I thought we were gonna go into the cliff here and into the lake down there, but I'm wrong. 16 times. Now. Damn. Pretty much went not necessarily through the gap. How about right here with the car coming down, right? 8 times to 4 to full. Let's go to regular cam, and we're gonna get stuck right there. Okay, good enough. So, car's still running somehow. Probably bring us to flat land to see if it... Don't go in reverse. No, don't go in reverse. Go to flat land. See if this thing runs. Can you run? I think the answer is no, because that tire is airborne. And looking at the damage of this vehicle, this thing has been pulled back by another 20 yards right here. This polygon going mental. Left side's okay-ish, except for the front left side of the vehicle. Back end's pretty messed up. Right side hella messed up, especially right here. If you look at the interior, pretty much all the occupants of this vehicle would have been okay, except for the front passenger side of the vehicle. The middle passenger right here, this dude's skull has been taken out. Pretty much elsewhere, pretty much okay. They've been okay except for the front and middle passenger sides of the vehicle. So lastly, we're going to be going over to Leap of Death to see if this 30-inch bad boy can dazzle the desert, or dazzle the heavens up above. Hopefully, when this vehicle spawns in, it doesn't poke its rear inside the rock face here. Let's see if that doesn't happen. And it doesn't. So good. So accelerate right now. And put this down the ramp. And put this car out of its pimp misery. Hopefully Snoop Dogg doesn't care about this. So roughly 48, 49 miles an hour. It seems like we've exited out of the ramp. And it's about to go roof. Never mind, I was about to go roof first, but it crashes into this right here. So get a camera going right now. Mr. Caddy. So 16 to 100. And hit. Alright, drivetrain right here has gone pretty much all the way mental. The rims, okay, the rim is pretty much gone of that tire. Same thing with this guy. Go to 8 times, track it. The license plate is bent up too. And this vehicle, hopefully this is a total mess. It's a total mess, like the engine doesn't run. And it runs. No way. Let it go. Hopefully this thing dies out with the next couple hits, because the engine's exposed right there. That engine is totally exposed. Right here. Maybe not. Here? Like, the main engine broken. There we go. Finally we killed the engine. Like, that thing doesn't even deserve to be running with this condition. So after those hits, we're gonna splash right now. Splash. Engine's hydrolocking. We don't even care because the engine is totally busted. So bring this to flat land and see what it looks like. And here we go. The Fleetwood is pretty much almost at the size of a typical Fleetwood, the 3-meter wheelbase version, not the 4-meter wheelbase limousine variant of the Fleetwood. And this thing is borderline unrecognizable. If you check the inside, this thing is like a trash compactor, especially its passengers are literally part of the trash compactor. Of how this thing is just been squished down of hitting every rock and cliff face of striking this vehicle. So we're going to spawn this to the crater, get a new Fleetwood, and okay, it's on park mode, so I'm going to be driving down this crater here, then I'll be going to free cam and freeze physics and just spawn ourselves somewhere like right around here of this peak of the mountain and see if we can crash down here and land in the crater. So here we are at one of the peaks of the mountain like I mentioned earlier. So I drove it around 62 miles an hour and F7 to get up here, and not only that, our 0 to 62 test is improved to 10.25 seconds, and I don't know why it hasn't even captured right here. Does it capture at 63 or something? I don't know. So let's get things started here right now. And abort throttle, so our 0 to 60 test is totally a mystery. That pretty much sucks. So hopefully we can land this in the crater, probably get a better crash, like, oh my god, right here. Okay, this guy could be a lot better than before. So a 235 mile an hour collision at this cliff face, probably a little bit faster. Let's say 236 will hit. There goes the right side. It's pretty much gonna just, not as I thought it would do. I thought it would like kind of like bend a little, just skid down this cliff face here. This tire's messed up, including the rim. Yep, rim's busted, tire's busted. So free cam and to 4 times, I believe. Yep, and full time. I thought the back end hit would be more brutal than I thought it would. And the engine is 100% dead, as I thought it would be from that first hit, especially for hitting the front end portion of the vehicle and the drivetrain all messed up and the engine exposed. Damn. Damn, that was a brutal hit. So pretty much flat right now. Still compacting it from the front end and rear end of the vehicle. And the engine is pretty much doing ninjutsu type of stuff. How it's just flipping around, carrying some of the momentum and changing the direction of the vehicle. As you can see, it's exposed along with the mentally insane transmission just bent up into a weird shape. And are we going to reach the bottom? The answer is yes. It was kind of a close one how it was starting to slow down, but we reached the bottom of the crater, fortunately. Unlike the last ones, how it was like really close, like I had to use the node grabber and fling it a little, and then after using the node grabber, I reached the bottom like where I'm at right now. So wait for the dust to settle and see the aftermath of destruction. And just like that, pretty much flattened it out even more compared to the old one, how the other one was like more compacted down a little. And this one was just more widened out, but also pretty much flat like the old one. And if you look at the vehicle, unrecognizable in the front. The headlights still work. Damn right they work, because that's automation and BeamNG in a nutshell. The engine is, what's the condition? Is this in perfect condition? And the engine is pretty much almost borderline pristine, except for the front right here where the belt goes for the engine there. And the right side, the header is messed up. Not much on the left side. Inside, I don't know. Let's now look at the inside. So like that, this vehicle is hella dead. Same thing with the last one of dropping it into the water. So that'll do it with automation and BeamNG.drive with the Cadillac Fleetwood Stretch Donk. This car may be a showstopper to certain people when you see this whip around Front Street. If there was a possibility to increase the rim size without popping the tires upon spawning in, then it would have been the ultimate donk car that would make the ghetto leave the chat, causing a drop in population with the upcoming 2020 census. Despite having 30-inch rims with a fake dub rim size badge right here, it performs fairly bad in terms of acceleration and handling of this vehicle, especially how it understeers like crazy. Usually for a car this high, you'll think it'll roll over once I start swerving left and right, which it didn't. If it did roll over, then donk cars should be outlawed. So this has been Mr. Jack at 000. I'll see you in the next video.